a very special football edition of Tyman On Tap. Today we have a special guest. We'll show you possibly two special guests. We have one now, one possibly coming in a little bit. We'll see how he's running a little late. We've heard maybe he'll come in, maybe he won't. And our other guest, Andrew.
Hey everybody, how you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Good. Glad to be here, Joe. Glad to talk about a little football.
Yeah.
A little food.
So you're back in studio after about a 5-6 week break. How does it feel?
Well, it was the season finale, and it was great. It was a great party, and now I'm glad to be here.
It was a great party, but now it's time to get back to business.
Back to football, Joe.
Yeah, let's make sure you guys call in 203-265-6310. Call the studio. We got the phone right here. I'll be answering it. Angela will be next to me taking your calls. If you want to call, you want to talk in, talk about football. Talk about your favorite food while you're eating football. We're going to talk food. We got food here. We're going to talk food.
We're going to talk food first.
We're going to talk food first. Food is, because, food and football, you have to start almost the night before and get prepared for it. So it's like the precursor to Sunday, the Saturday night, setting up your slow cooker, buying your chicken wings, buying whatever you got to buy to get ready for the night's game.
Okay.
And so, food's a big part of it for me.
Joe, what's your favorite food to eat while watching football?
Well, it's the wings. And you know what? I like a couple things. I like a nice pulled pork sandwich and some nice wings. And for me, wings are something very special. We have something called a wing sesh.
And what, to the unexposed masses, what is a wing sesh?
A wing sesh is when you take raw chicken, sometimes not even chopped up, you chop it yourself sometimes, and you make wings yourself. They taste good. It's a lot of work, a lot of effort. It really pays off in the end. And I'm going to reveal to everybody tonight the secret behind a wing sesh.
Now, Joe, when you say secret, are there people out there who are going to be mad at you because you've exposed the secret?
There may be some people in northern Connecticut, and there may be some people in Colorado right now, maybe one person in Colorado, that's going to be very upset about me exposing this.
Wow.
He's the originator of the wing sesh, and he's in Colorado.
And you're cool with this.
I'm cool with this. I think the more people that know about a wing sesh, the better off they are.
Okay.
I feel like the wing sesh is like a religion. It's like something you hear, and you write to the Corinthians and tell them why they should become part of this religion.
Right.
And the wing sesh is so great. I think it's going to change a lot of people's football watching.
Okay. All right. Now, Joe, break a wing sesh down for me.
All right. Well, wing sesh is. Oh, I think we're getting a call. Hello, you're on WPAA. This is Tyman On Tap. Who do we have here?
Hi, this is Benny Profane calling from Connecticut. Hey, Joe, how are you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing, Benny?
I'm doing well. I just wanted to call and clear some air. During last week's show, somebody brought up South Park, and that's just one of the things like the moon landing and the Bush-Gore election that just really angers up my blood. And in my rage, I happened to say some things that I didn't mean, and that were untrue, and that to some people would be hurtful. I'm not going to repeat those things.
You're just calling to apologize.
I think it was covered well enough in the national news media and other prominent, media outlets. But I would like to apologize to anyone that may have been offended by my statement. India, the country, Indians in general, Native Americans, who also may have misconstrued my comments as being directed towards them.
What about the state of Indiana?
The state of Indiana.
Yep, I think they deserve it too.
That's where Hoosiers came from.
Yep, good movie. Good movie.
The West Indies? People from the West Indies?
Sorry, Joe, I can't hear you. What did you say?
The people from the West Indies?
Yeah, the West Indies, also the East Indies,
Yep.
not that ever existed. Anyone that may or may not eat dog presently or may have eaten dog, I've eaten some meals, I will be honest, where I'm like, I don't think that was chicken. And, that's where, part of it came from. I've been in third world countries. I won't say which ones, not that India is a third world country. But I've eaten meals where I said to myself, I don't think that's chicken. I think that's dog or cat.
Cat. It's mostly cat, I think, personally.
Yeah, and there's never any domesticated animals in areas like that, which always gets me, not areas like India, the areas where I was eating. So, just show, I think I've covered all my bases. I better get off before I say something like inappropriate, like about the British royal family or something like I've done.
Good idea. Good idea.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of crazy things about the British royal family, so we don't want to get into that.
Yeah, no, we don't want MI6 on us.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that I should mention?
Well, I think you said your piece.
Say your piece. Have you ever ate really weird food knowing it was weird food? So you can relate to the people you may have offended.
Yes, I ate a termite once.
Oh,
Ah, see?
that's good.
See?
Little raid on that?
I know I've eaten plenty of cats, all sort of pussycats.
Okay.
All right.
All right, well, I have to go now. But then, Joe, have a great show.
Thank you. You're not going to say anything to Andrew?
Oh, Andrew's in the studio?
Yeah.
You've been talking to him for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, hey, Andrew.
Hey, how you doing, Benny?
Man, I wish I could stay in chef, but I really got to get
You got to run. I understand.
All right.
I'll talk to you later, buddy. Bye. So, Joe, that was a good call.
Yeah.
I think that was constructive, bridging the gap between certain ethnicities in your show
Yes.
that had been burned last week.
But you know what? We're going to stay in the food theme.
Let's go wing sesh, Joe.
Wing
Break
sesh.
it down for me.
So I have the ingredients necessary for a wing sesh.
Can we see
Can
that?
we pop those up?
Can we see the... Yep.
Yeah, wing sesh.
There you go.
You're going to need 2 pounds of wings, a cup of flour, a gallon of peanut oil, and a stick of butter and Frank's Red Hot.
Okay, a whole bottle, right, Joe?
Whole bottle.
Okay.
You take the bottle. I'll talk about the sauce, and then we'll go back to the wings themselves. So the sauce, what you do is you take a bottle of the Red Hot, pour it in, take a stick of butter, melt it.
Okay.
You may need more butter, you may need less. You got depends on how buttery you like your sauces, how thick you like your sauces. And say you don't like buffalo, say you like Parmesan garlic.
Oh.
I don't know how you actually make the sauce. Probably Parmesan cream with a little garlic thrown in there.
Yeah.
You put the butter in there after you have your sauce, and then you make it. That makes it like a wing sauce. It makes it cling to the wing, and it's very important when you eat a delicious thing like this.
Like Joe just did.
Delicious.
Hit the spot, Joe?
Delicious. But when you make a wing like this, and then make the special sauce, you still need that butter to make it nice and saucy and clingy. If you notice, you go to a place like Buffalo Wild Wings, they don't have a honey mustard sauce for their wings. What they do have is honey mustard the condiment. If they added butter to that honey mustard, they would have a honey mustard sauce for their wings. So when you get honey mustard from a place like Buffalo Wild Wings, you aren't necessarily getting a good sauce for a wing.
So what you're saying, Joe, is the butter acts as like the binding between the sauce and the chicken itself.
Yes.
So you got to make sure that, but do you need, can you go too thick on the sauce, on the butter? Is that a possibility?
Yes, the most recent ring session I actually had, I did 2 sticks of butter. Did
Wow.
not come out that great.
Okay. Just too clingy?
Too buttery, too thick. It was like thick.
Okay.
Because when you add the butter in there, it makes it thicker, especially if you're using like a Frank's Red Hot, which I recommend for traditional buffalo wing. It just makes it thicker. And you can start tasting the butter when you put too much in it too. So instead of like eating like a traditional buffalo wings, you're eating like it's just a different taste. Occasionally, what I would do is to make things up a little. Take your favorite spice, like cayenne, and throw it in there. Just give it a little kick. Or what I actually like what I like is there's 2 things I occasionally do on this to mix it up. Add a little bit of sugar, makes it a little sweeter.
Okay. Brown sugar, maybe.
Brown sugar, or even white sugar.
Really? Regular sugar?
You can use
Alright,
both.
I'm
Brown
surprised.
sugar gives it a little different taste. It makes it more of a barbecue-y taste.
Yeah.
White sugar just makes it sweeter.
Okay.
So you can add either one of those depending on what you like. But another thing I occasionally add, a little citrus, a little orange juice, something like that.
Yeah.
But you have to add, but you gotta be careful. When you add that, you gotta be careful. You gotta add more butter because it's gonna actually make your sauce
A little acidic.
a little acidic, but juicier, wetter.
Oh, okay.
Not as thick and as clingy. So you need a little bit more butter to make up for that. A little,
Okay.
little more something else to thicken it up. Maybe you throw a little bit of flour in there if you're gonna use like a real juice.
Okay.
Just to give it a little more cling.
Okay. All right. So it's all about getting the flavor on the chicken when you cook it.
Yes. See, you see these wings. The problem, they drop them in the sauce and they mix them in there, but it clings very well. Especially the breaded. This is actually another good. That brings me back to so we're gonna go back to the wings. You need a good breading. Some people just fry their wings without the breading, and I'm not a big fan of that. You don't have to make it like a fried chicken breading, which makes the wings very heavy and more meal-like. I've done that before, and it's interesting. I once made a fried chicken style buffalo wings with blue cheese fondue, and that was extravagant. That was extravagant.
I mean, geez, they're living behind the hog there.
Yes, that was very extravagant. So, you don't have to go all out and do that.
Okay.
You could do something lighter. You could maybe do a little less breading. That's what I do. I take the cup of flour, and I don't even use egg. Egg is another thing. If you put egg if you dip it in egg, then dip it in your breading. But what I would do is dip it in a little flour, dip it in egg, then dip it in breading. And that's how you get like a fried chicken base.
Okay.
And that's what these wings are here that we're eating.
Joe, what about instead of a breading, a panko? Like a more of a Japanese kind of, a little lighter, absorbs the flavors better. You ever use panko, Joe?
Pancos are breadcrumbs. I use flour. And
okay. You don't use any breadcrumbs. This is not like real fried chicken. This is just you making wings.
Yes.
Okay, I understand now. I understand.
In traditional sense, unless they're making the fried chicken style.
Okay.
But you just drop it in the flour, you get a nice coat, then you fry it. What's it's going to do is it's going to put like a layer around your wings.
Okay.
And then it's going to let you fry it, make it nice and juicy, nice and crisp, gives it a little more substance, makes it feel a little thicker. And then when you dip your sauce in, it's going to cling better than not having anything on there.
Okay.
So that's what that is.
So just real quick, just for the audience, other flavors other than Frank's Red Hot, you could do like a Parmesan, like a buttermilk Parmesan type of thing.
Yeah, you do a lot of different stuff.
I prefer, I really like the jerk chicken. If you go into your, usually international aisle at your local...
Can I try one of these?
Yeah, of course, please, Joe. They're hot, they got some zing to it, but if you go into the international aisle at Stop and Shop or your ShopRite or wherever you happen to shop, you get some jerk sauce. It works just like hot sauce. It's already got the flavor, it's already got the heat in it. Just mix it up, and like Joe was saying, as long as the breading's perfect, you're good to go.
Yeah, and
it's good though, right, Joe?
It's good.
It's different.
It's sweeter.
Yeah.
And it's pretty spicy. There's a nice kick to it. It's not really hot per se. It's more spicy.
It's a zing more than a kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, this is interesting. This is an interesting wing. I mean, and if you can see, this is getting creative. You can pretty much do whatever you want for your wing. Once you have a good wing, a good base, and a good technique to bring your sauce to a wing sauce. Mm-hmm. So that's personally what I like. So you get it. So when you get the wings, the good thing about chicken wings is that they're really cheap. They're like $2 a pound. They're by far the cheapest cheapest meat you can buy at the grocery store. They're cheap, and so if you can get those, you occasionally get the ones with the full wings. What you can do? There's two ways you can do it. You can chop it up in the traditional drumstick and wing part.
No.
And then chop off the end. Or you can do it more like Hooters and leave the end on. I personally like leaving the end on because that means I got a little
like a handle.
Yeah, a handle.
Okay. Yeah.
That's why I really like Hooters wings. For traditional buffalo wings, I think that Hooters really has a really good wing and a really something you want to. If you're making your own wings, you should try to aspire to.
Okay.
And if
so go to Hooters Friday night, eat those wings, use that as motivation Sunday night.
Yes.
Or Sunday during the afternoon.
If you notice, if you go to Archie Moore's, they say they have great wings. I don't know. I think their wings are a little dry. Their sauce is nothing special to write home about. I'll take my Frank's Red Hot with butter. That's a traditional buffalo from Buffalo, New York. But if you notice that their wings are a little drier, and a lot of that dryness is because you don't bread it. If you don't bread it, you're gonna get dry wings.
Yeah. But the one thing about Archie Moore's wings is you can dip them in beer, and I love dipping my wings in beer.
Really?
I know that's a weird thing. I know everyone's gonna be like, "Whoa, really?" But yeah, I always get 2 Budweisers when I go to Archie Moore. One's for drinking, one's for dipping.
Really?
It's really good. See, I think a dry wing, it soaks that up like a sponge, and it just lets you imbibe it. It's really good. I really recommend that. Try that one day, kids. Well, not kids, but adults of legal drinking
21
age.
plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, see, that's good if you have a dry wing. But personally, if you're making wings at home, you're feeding a lot of people.
Yeah.
Especially if you're feeding kids. Maybe you have the family around. You got your son. He's got his favorite player is Wes Welker. He's got his Wes Welker jersey on. He's ready to go to the game. You're not going to want to have him dipping wings in beer.
No. I understand. Now, so Joe, after you fry them with the breading, or not the breading, but the
well,
dough.
what I do is that's where you need a gallon of peanut oil. Because if you need a deep fryer, you need peanut oil. If you're allergic to peanuts, use a canola oil or something like that.
Yeah.
But peanut oil is great for frying food in. So you drop it in the. So you may think a gallon of peanut oil, that's a lot of oil.
That's a lot of oil.
But the thing is, you're not going to use it all at once, and you may have to dump out the oil throughout the thing. If you mess up a little, you may get too messy. But here's the key to frying it. You can't have any overlaps. You need to fill out the bottom layer flat with wings. You need to have as much of the surface filled up with wings, but you can't have any overlap.
Okay.
You have to have a nice even layer. You drop it in there and you fry it until it's full, until it's done. Excuse me. Then you take it out, you let it cool down for a split second, not so you can pick it up. Then you drop it in the sauce. And if you wait for it, you have to make the sauce. You have to let the sauce cool down first. You have to let the wings cool down. If you miss either of these steps, the sauce will start coming apart when you dip it into this. When you put the hot things into the sauce.
Okay, I understand that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's what you do. You let it cool down, dip it in, and you put them on your plate. You're ready to go.
Ready to go. Or in a tray to serve to a lot of people.
Yeah, and, it's not something. Wing sesh takes time, so it's something you're not going to want to just do and say, "Man, I need 12 wings." You can do that if you have a big enough fryer, but it's going to take some time. So maybe start. This might be something you want to start at 10 o'clock for a 1 o'clock game.
Okay. And don't rush. I mean, when you're working with hot oil, you don't want to rush it, right, Joe? You want to take your time. And...
I once saw somebody try to make a blooming onion, who literally threw the onion into the fryer. Oil everywhere.
Everywhere.
You know how you clean up oil? You throw flour everywhere. So it's a huge mess. There's flour and oil everywhere in my kitchen for like a day.
Yeah. Take it slow. Work it up. It's okay. It's going to take a while, yeah.
So, get a nice tray. The better the tray is, the better you are. If you get that tray fully out of the oil and submerge it slowly, that's good. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do for a prime wing sesh.
Understand.
Yeah, so do you have any more comments about wings?
Now, 2 pounds of wings, Joe, how many people can you expect to feed with that?
It depends. If it's your only meal,
yeah,
probably not a lot.
Okay.
Probably you're looking at.
I mean, no, this is like an appetizer for a 1 o'clock game.
If an appetizer, if people know that there's more food to come.
Yeah.
Maybe you can feed 5 people with those.
Okay, 5 pounds. So you have a 20 people party, maybe get 4 pounds, 5 pounds of wings.
Yeah, just you get more and more wings based on the party you have. 6 pounds of wings might be great for a 20 person party. Make sure, but you think this about wings is that people eat them very fast.
Yeah.
They're not filling, and you just keep popping them. So what you want to do is make sure that when you either have enough wings to feed everybody, like we have 36 wings right now for 2 people in front of us, that's a lot of wings.
That's a lot of wings, yeah, totally. But they're also boneless, so there's a difference in boneless. Do you cook boneless wings at home, or
no? I don't. I just like the nice bone. I like a nice fresh wing. I personally go to Stu Leonard's to get my wings. So I find the chicken to be the freshest.
Okay.
You can go to like a local Stop and Shop or a local market.
Right.
You get some pretty fresh wings.
Supermarket, right? Okay.
Just the chicken. Chicken is so cheap; it really doesn't matter. But I like the fresher chicken. I like the fresh chicken.
Yeah. You don't want it frozen because then you have to let it defrost. Because if you put something frozen in oil, that's a recipe for disaster, right, Joe?
You don't want frozen. You want to get unfrozen wings. And if you're going to get frozen wings, make sure you defrost them like on Friday.
Yeah, all the way, because you don't want to put ice into hot oil.
Yes, this is not good. So, I mean, that's really something you got to keep your eye on.
Okay, cool.
Huh? All right, so I think we're going to take a PSA and then come back and talk some pulled pork, and then you're going to find out my picks for the NFL season. Yeah.
So, are you going out tonight?
I can't. My parents say I have to be home right after work.
That's so gay.
Totally gay. Ugh, that is so Emma and Julia.
Why are you saying that's so Emma and Julia?
Well, when something is dumb or stupid, you say that's so Emma and Julia.
Who says that?
Everyone. Imagine if who you are were used as an insult. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
Folks, why won't we go to the doctor? My uncle called, speech all slurred, complaining his arms numb. He called everyone. He even called my daughter Tiara, because, she's got a year of nursing. Everyone thinks he needs to go to the doctor, including me. So he said, well, will you take me? I'm like, I'm on the road. He goes, I'll wait. Stroke's no joke. If you or someone you love have symptoms of stroke, don't wait. It may be too late. Dial 911. Time loss is brain loss.
When life's this hard, graduating can be even harder. But you can help Ativa and the students in your community make it through by visiting boostup.org.
Abandoned and lost. From the dark, cold streets of the city to a cage in the local shelter, to heaven your lap.
Hey!
Hey, everybody!
How you guys doing?
Hey, we have a new background. First is Ted Bruschi.
Okay.
This is the Snow Bowl, the game that made Tom Brady's career.
Yep, totally, definitely.
And then it told everybody, man, Adam Vinatieri could kick some field goals.
He definitely can. And make snow angels. Well, there wasn't him making snow angels.
That was Lonnie Paxton.
Yeah, they made snow angels. Very good snow angels.
Yes, yes.
All right, so Joe, it's game day. We finished our wings. That was an appetizer. Now we're hungry. Now it's real meal time for real big boys. What are you putting on that table?
Pulled pork.
Awesome.
We pull up the title slide for pulled pork?
Nah, I love pulled pork. No, sorry.
If you can't eat pulled pork, you can have a nice beef tenderloin, a beef brisket or something like that.
No, I gotta have pulled pork. Pulled pork. That's
Right.
a
Pulled
big
pork
boy.
is going to be a bigger deal to make in terms of more time. It's going to actually, there's only really one thing you have to worry about, and that's actually pulling the pork itself.
Right.
But what you need is you need a slow cooker. So you go to a slow cooker, best bet, get one with a timer, put the pork in there, get everything ready to go, put a timer on. Before you go to bed on Saturday, have it ready for 1 o'clock. Or have it ready for 2:30 for halftime.
Yeah.
You know, so you set the timer, it takes about 6 hours to bake. You need the 4 pounds of pork. The 4 pounds of pork.
What kind of pork? What cut?
Shoulder.
That's important.
You need yeah, it's about 4 pounds. It'll be good. You need 1 medium onion thick and slice. If you don't know anything about cooking with a slow cooker, it dries your food out. So you need a lot of onions, which will keep the food dry or keep the food moist. You need 1.5 cups of water. Some people put root beer. Some people put ginger ale. You know, you can do something crazy with that.
Well, you can mix it up. You can do a little water, a little ginger ale. You can, do
Yeah,
whatever
you can mix
want.
it up. You know, it's all about the slow cooking the pork. You let the pork sit there. It takes about 6 hours in the cooker, and then you cook it and you pull everything, and then you put it back in the cooker and you mix it with your sauce. So, so I do this. You know, I like this. This is something I can do. I can set up the night before I go to bed. You know, if I'm going out for the night, if I have a timer, I can set it up before I go out. Before I go.
Okay.
You know, sometimes you can even put it in the fridge. If you know you're not going to be long, so you just put it in the bowl. Get when it pops out. Put it in the fridge. When you're ready to come back home for the night, put it in. Put the timer on. That's what I like to do. It's just easy to make. You don't have to worry about it. It doesn't get your house hot like turning your stove on,
No.
which in January, if you're watching a playoff game, doesn't matter. But, you know, maybe in September, you know, you have a couple 90 degrees days here and there. You may not want the stove.
I don't want that hot. Yeah, I don't want the heat. Definitely.
Yeah, but you just let it cook, and then that's the fun part comes after that. You then have to pull the pork.
Ugh.
So when you notice with slow cooker, it kind of cooks the meat. It kind of makes it all strippy, and it pulls it off the bone, which is perfect for pulled pork. This is not kosher or halal.
No, this is Christians only, I guess.
It's Christians and atheists.
Yeah, Christians and atheists only.
Humanists.
Yeah. Some weird religions
maybe
we don't know
Satanists.
about. Maybe Satanists.
Satanists
eat
eat this.
pork.
I don't know.
Satanists love pork, actually.
Do they?
I know that for a fact, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have anything to reveal?
No, not personally, but myself.
All right. Well,
And then what the sauce, Joe? What's in the pulled pork sauce?
Well, occasionally I get lazy and just get a bottle of my favorite barbecue because there's a lot of great barbecue sauces out there. But you know what I like to do? I like to take a bottle of ketchup, take a bottle of barbecue sauce, this will help it out. Take some mustard, take some brown sugar, take some spices, you mix it together, put a little honey mustard in there, and make it nice. That's what I like doing for my
Worcestershire sauce, though.
Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah.
But you know, you need a ketchup base. If you're making a barbecue sauce, you need a ketchup base. And you can also use a barbecue sauce base, like a very bland barbecue sauce is a great base to use for it, because that's already a ketchup base. There's not too many seasons in it, and it gives you that basic barbecue taste that you're looking for.
Okay.
So you can do that. And the key is to mixing the ingredients. I occasionally will put actual honey in there, and actual Grey Poupon mustard or something like that in there.
Wow.
And that makes a nice, great honey barbecue sauce.
Oh, all right.
You know, this thing's
Steak
great.
sauce you can put in there too.
You can mix a lot of things. The best thing about barbecue sauce, even more so than wing sauce, you can go crazy.
Kitchen sink.
It's just like you can put anything you want to put in there. If you want to put anchovies, fine, put anchovies.
Anchovies, Joe.
Well, it's in Worcestershire sauce.
Oh, okay, that's true. Yeah.
So if you want to put anchovies, if you want to do whatever you want, you can put it into your sauce.
Okay, and then you get your roll. You get your bun.
Yeah, I like a nice whole wheat roll.
Okay.
It likes it nice and hearty. You know what I also like? Chopped onions
Oh.
and a little coleslaw and some cheddar cheese.
Coleslaw inside of it.
Yes.
All right.
Because it gives a nice little crisp.
Love
you know, we have some pulled pork
We got
sliders
some
here.
pork sandwich, sideless.
You know, and here there's some little coleslaw in that
All
thing.
right. I'm not a coleslaw fan, so that's
You know-
all yours.
Thank you.
So, you know, you can put things like tomatoes. I'll put a little onion on mine, a little coleslaw.
A little cold lettuce to kind of balance it out.
Yeah, you know, the great thing about the coleslaw is you may not like it, and not a lot of people, some people don't like coleslaw, but it gives a nice crispiness that you can't get otherwise. I know the fresh onion gives it a little crispiness, but the coleslaw gives a nice crispiness, and you know, you're eating mush almost when you're eating pulled pork. So I like that little difference. You know, and if you're gonna do cheese, you need a nice strong orange cheddar cheese shredded. And you don't have to go crazy and get something fancy and rich, like
Gouda.
You know, just a basic cheddar cheese, something that's not going to melt too easily, which cheddar cheese does not melt easily. That's why if you're making grilled cheese, best to do it with
cheddar cheese, only American cheese.
Well, American cheese is great for grilled cheese because it melts so good.
Yeah.
So well. I don't know what the
All hail cheddar cheese.
God.
No, American cheese.
Another cheese gang war going on, Joe.
You know, my brother refuses to get anything on his omelets besides cheddar cheese.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird. That's weird. Mix it up. Mix it
I'm
up.
making a mess here.
Joe's brother, mix it up. Mix it up. That's what I said to you. He's watching, right, Joe?
I don't know. I'll send him a text message at the next commercial break and find out.
Okay, good. I'm telling him to mix up with his omelet and cheese.
See, now this is a great sandwich. You got the coleslaw, you got the pulled pork. I don't have any cheese on here, unfortunately. But I got my nice. It looks like a potato roll, actually. Is it a potato roll?
Yeah, it is definitely. It's not that good. This is why you need whole wheat, because it really gives that robust flavor. You need that robust flavor.
Yeah. No, I'm not a whole wheat person. I'm gonna be honest. I like my white bread. I like my Wonder Bread. I like Louis Lunch and the white bread they put their burgers on.
Okay.
But I need my whole wheat. I need something hearty for this meal.
Rye bread.
No, you don't want rye. You want
rye would definitely interfere with the pork flavors.
Yeah. And the great thing about whole wheat is that it has a flavor of whole wheat, but it's not an overwhelming flavor.
No,
It's not.
it's a subtle.
Yeah, you're eating it for the. You're not eating it for the bread. You're eating it for what's on the bread.
Right. All right. Okay.
And sometimes you get a fancy French bread, fancy baguette.
You can have a baguette. I mean, that could do well.
Yeah, you can do something like that.
As long as it's not too crusty. You gotta have to be a little less.
The good thing about a French bread is that you don't need to put the coleslaw to give a nice crunch to it.
No, exactly. You got the texture already. So if you're not in a coleslaw mood, baguette that, mother, and then all of a sudden you got like a nice crunchy sandwich.
See, I just took a bite into this. Great. I had the crunchiness of the coleslaw, the fresh onion hits my palate, and then I got the pulled pork.
But the potato roll is too doughy.
It is.
It's just too doughy, and there's too much potato. I tasted a lot of potato. That's my only qualm with it. I know it's a free sandwich, and you shouldn't hate on a free sandwich. And I'm not hating on a free sandwich. But I'm just saying, for those of you who at home, we're going to make your own pulled pork sandwiches, invest in the whole wheat, invest in the baguette.
Yeah, invest in the baguette.
Yeah.
Invest in the whole wheat. You know, whole wheat rolls are just the same cost as any other roll.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
the baguette might be a little more expensive depending on where you are, but the whole wheat, same as it, and it's healthier for you. Whole wheat is always going to be healthier for you than that.
Down with the whole wheat, white bread only.
I don't understand.
Kaiser roll. A Kaiser
Kaiser rolls wouldn't be too bad if you get a nice hearty Kaiser roll.
Yeah.
But the problem with getting a Kaiser roll, you're going to have a big sandwich.
Don't eat as much wings, Joe.
Portuguese rolls for the win.
I don't know about Portuguese rolls. They might be
Portuguese roll, I think, is more for a cold cut sandwich.
Yeah.
I'm really, I feel that way.
No whole wheat.
I don't know what the whole wheat hate is all about.
Sliced dough would
That'd
be
be good.
interesting.
Yeah, that'd be good. Or a pretzel roll.
Pretzel roll would be good.
A pretzel roll would
You know,
be really good.
Cahoots in East Hartford. I'll let you figure out what type of thing it is. But for lunch, they have a nice pulled pork sandwich on a pretzel roll.
Nice.
I enjoyed it last
You got
time I
the
was
salt at the top. I mean, you're all set.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, nice.
there. Yeah.
Pretzel roll's not that hard to make. I made some the other day.
Really?
Not that hard to make.
But you know, this is more back to the point. You need something nice and hearty to absorb this. You're gonna get a lot of flavors. I think, especially if you're going crazy with your barbecue sauce. I mean, nuts. You can go absolutely nuts with your barbecue sauce. You can do whatever you want, and you're gonna want something that's gonna really be resistant to that flavor.
Yeah, because the pulled pork is inherently it's wet, and so you don't want something that's going to turn into a sloppy mess. There's a sponge. You don't want a sponge. Is basically what you don't need. Phone call.
Hello, you're on WPAA. This is Tyman On Tap.
Hi, my name's Steve. I'm calling from Naugatuck, Connecticut.
Hey, Steve. How you doing?
How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Good.
Great.
I was actually calling in to talk about the Giants.
Okay.
Wow.
What do you want to know? What do you want to talk about?
Oh, I'm just I know you're a fan. I'm just a fellow fan. Everybody's really worried. All the bandwagon people are very worried. I'm not worried. Are you?
I'm worried about one thing and one thing alone: the running game. Last night, they proved that they can't run the ball as well as they did last year. I think they're going to miss Brandon Jacobs. And when they were first and goal in the second quarter and they had to settle for a field goal, I think if Brandon Jacobs on the team, I think that's 7 points. Now, I know the referees missed that penalty, and that was really, really bad on Skandrick. But, yeah, I'm not worried. I think everyone needs to take a step back off the ledge, calm down. This is a team that excels much better later in the season. I'm surprised they lost last night, and I'm not happy that they lost. But, yeah, no, the only thing I'm worried about is the running game. That's it. Other than that, I was pretty satisfied. What about you?
I'm not upset.
Good.
Yeah, we're pulling cornerbacks off the street here.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
We had our 6th minute in starting. I could be wrong, but
It was something like that. It was either 5th or 6th. You're right. Yeah.
We have Cole as our starting corner. We're in rough shape.
Yeah. No.
To be honest, the first 3 drives, the Giants' defense looked incredible.
Yeah, and I mean, and it was interesting. Both teams last night looked gassed. I was surprised with that, especially by the end of the, towards the end, right before halftime. Both teams looked tired. They both had, guys hands on their knees, hands on their hips. So it could have just been a lack of preseason conditioning. I don't know what it was, but now again, I'm not too worried. I can't. It's one game. I can't get too worried.
They played terrible and they lost by 7 points. How are you going to settle for 3 points from a first and goal on the 1?
That was just a bad situation. But again, that breaks down to the running game. That's where your running game is supposed to shine.
How do you not do a QB sneak in that situation?
I mean, it wasn't close enough, and Eli's never been a great sneaker.
See, no, that's one of the most underrated parts about Tom Brady's game. He might be the best QB sneaker in the league.
I don't know if currently he's the best, maybe, but not all time. I thought that's what you were going to say.
I'm not saying all time.
I was assuming that's where you were going to go.
Hey, that Eli was the best QB sneaker of all time?
No, that Tom Brady was. That's what I thought he was saying.
I said he's the best in the league right now.
Yeah, I know.
I would say that Trent Newton is a better QB sneaker than...
But you're expecting him to run. You're not expecting Brady to run. That's what makes him so good at it. He just goes in there and dives head first.
Fair point.
Steve, how is things up in Naugatuck?
Well,
How are things up in Naugatuck?
everything's fine.
Good. Everything good? Roommates good?
Everything's good, man.
All right, that's good to hear.
All right, man. Good to see you guys.
All right.
All right, are you done? Thanks for calling, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Steve, I think his phone.
Yeah, something
I
happened.
don't know, something about his phone crapping out.
Yeah.
Everyone, all the Giants fans. Oh,
Hello? Hello?
his phone.
Maybe his phone.
His phone.
Phone.
His phone. Something about a phone.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Joe, yeah, so we back on the pulled pork, slow cook it, 6 hours right before we go to bed on Saturday.
Hello?
Yeah, I want to comment about your pulled pork.
Yeah,
Yes.
what's up?
Last time I was at the food store for pulled pork, I kind of was a bad choice. I'd love to stay with the jerk chicken.
All right. I think that might have been someone from the back.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we want a good roll, slow cook it, make a sauce, go crazy on the sauce, do whatever you want.
Yeah, and have fun. When you start pulling it, you take 2 forks, just go at it. Have fun pulling
Pulling
that pork.
Pull it up.
It's called pulled pork. It's not called...
Unpulled pork.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pulled pork.
Yes.
All right. Good.
Yeah, so let's talk about something cool. Let's talk about my predictions. That's my little theme for my predictions.
Okay.
They're probably going to be wrong. Probably most of them.
Everyone always is wrong.
All right, so
you never hear anyone has good predictions.
All right, let's pull up the AFC East first.
All right, let's see the AFCs. We'll just.
Maybe we won't.
No, we'll see. We'll wait. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was at a local sports apparel store. Okay, I'll tell the story later.
Okay.
All right, so my picks right now are the Patriots, Bills, Jets, and Dolphins.
Nice.
I think the Jets are due for a 500, possibly sub 500 season.
I can see that.
Dolphins still have a long way to go. They're on the right path. They have the right people in place, but they're just not there yet.
Tannehill doesn't know where Kansas City is.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's embarrassing.
Yes, and I think the Bills, people are kind of down on the Bills. I think they can win a nice 9-10 games this year.
Are they going to win because of their defense with the newly added Mario Williams, or are they going to lose? They're going to win because of their offense. What's going to be the predominant side?
I think they're going to probably get 3 or 4 wins in the division with the quality of the Jets and the
But is it
Dolphins.
because of the defense or because of the offense, Joe?
I like their defense. I like what they did on defense. It was good enough that they could cut Sean Merriman.
Yeah.
So I mean, they did a lot of work on their defense, and I mean, their offense has never been bad. It was pretty good last year. I think that they added some good receivers. And I think that they look pretty good.
Okay, I agree with you. I think the Bills will be third and the Jets will be second.
Really?
But both those teams will be around 500, 8-8, 9-7.
I'm a little higher on the Bills than you are.
All right.
I think the Patriots are going to win
score in the end
somewhere between 12 and 14 games this year.
I think 12 is a good number.
I think, there's one thing they've been in the regular season that's been consistent, and they've been consistent for about 11 years.
And it's a weak AFC, to be honest with you.
Yes.
Not to take anything away from them. It's a weak AFC last year, and I think it's a weak AFC this year. So the Patriots have no excuses. They should win this conference.
Yes. So let's go to the NFC East. For all you Giants fans in the audience and on studio.
Yep. All right.
All right. This was tough. This was a lot tougher than the AFC.
Okay.
I feel like the top three teams, any of the top three teams, can win this division.
I think so.
I feel like
the
winner of the division is probably going to have 9 or 10 games won. I think they're going to beat up on each other. I think there's going to be a lot of 500 division records in this. I think the Redskins are far behind the top three teams. I think you're going to see a lot. It's going to be fun watching RG3, but it's not going to be a lot of winning. It's going to be like Cam Newton last year, but it's going to be really fun and really promising for Redskins fans. The Cowboys, they just always find a way to fall out of it, though.
Yeah, they do. Absolutely.
I just can't trust the Cowboys. The Eagles are a great team. They're probably the most talented team in the NFC East. But until Mike Vick can show me that he can stay healthy for the whole season, I just don't think they're going to win this division.
I don't like the Eagles this year, Joe. I think that this year is really going to be a two-team dogfight in the NFC East. It's between the Giants and the Cowboys.
Michael Vick's dog league.
Yeah, I just don't think. I just don't think the Eagles. I think the Eagles, their time has come and gone. I think they're the San Diego Chargers in 2006, 2007. You gotta pull the trigger, and they haven't pulled that trigger.
Andy Reid's the trigger?
No, I just think that they have all this talent, but now they're getting old, and now it's getting over. And I think there's something happens to a team when you don't win when you're supposed to. Something happens to a team mindset-wise, and you get lazy, and you just say, all right, whatever. And I don't like the Eagles this year at all, Joe. I'll take the under on the Eagles.
I like the talent. I don't like Mike Vick's health.
Okay.
Okay, but would you agree with me that you think there's going to be the winner will probably be about 10 wins?
I think it's going to be 10, yeah. I think the winner of the NFC East will win 10, 11, 9 games. So somewhere in that range.
I know you're a Giants fan, so you probably don't like the Redskins, but you got to like RG3.
I think he's good, but, I mean, they don't really have, I don't know, that just like the Cowboys, the Redskins always seem to mess it up. Always seem, I'm not a big Shanahan fan. You know, he did win, but only with Elway. And
horrible cap violations.
Yeah,
nobody found out until 10 years later.
Listen, I'm not a huge Shanahan fan. They got one of the worst owners in sports, and I'm not loving the boys from Landover, Maryland.
All right, so let's go to the next slide. This is going to be my AFC picks. Let's see what you think.
Right.
I got the Pats out of the East, the Ravens out of the North. I think the Steelers take a step back this year. I think they took a step back last year. I think they're kind of searching for their identity. South Texans. Everybody's healthy. Owen Daniels healthy. Schaub healthy. That running game can do some great stuff. That passing attack can do some great stuff. If they all stay healthy, if they don't go through 5 quarterbacks this year, they'll be a great team. It'll be a tough playoff out. The West, the Broncos were a good playoff team last year with a bad quarterback. Now they have a good quarterback. I look for them to improve. I like the Bengals. The Bengals are still making that step forward. They're not to the point where they can win their division yet. I still think they're better than the Steelers this year, like they were better than the Steelers last year. And I like the Raiders. Raiders are my surprise pick. I think they did a lot of good stuff last year. They ran into some injuries. They got a good head coach. They don't have their overlord is gone, to not put it nicely.
Ouch, yeah, put it really.
You don't have to worry about him calling plays from the owner's box.
Right, yeah. The pantsuit is gone.
Yes.
Joe, every year there's a sexy pick. You know, that preseason there's a sexy pick. The Texans are that pick. What is it about the Texans that you like so much?
Even without a quarterback, even going through 5 quarterbacks last year, they managed to get into the playoffs and be a competitive playoff team.
But it was a weak AFC. Don't you think the AFC is going to take a step up, or do you think it's going to be the same as last year?
But if you look at the division, Jacksonville's not going to do anything.
No, Jacksonville's done.
The Titans?
No, the Titans are not going to be good.
What's the other team in their division? I'm blanking now.
I don't know. I don't remember.
See, if we can't even think of the other team, it's probably
it's not a good team. Joe, I disagree with you about Pittsburgh. I think the Bengals are going to take a huge step back. I think that people looking at the Bengals, I think the Bengals last year were a complete fluke, and I'm really looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the Steelers and the Ravens are going to, vie for that playoff spot, the division. but I really don't like the Bengals. Bengals are an easy underpick for me. Their schedule's going to get tougher.
Colts.
Yeah, the Colts.
They're not going to win anything.
The Colts are not going to win anything. I think the Bengals are an easy underpick because their schedule's going to get tougher. And last year was a fluke. I really don't know.
I like Andy Dalton. I like AJ Green. Could be the best receiver in the game right now.
I disagree with that.
I don't know. A lot of people
I
like
disagree
him.
with that.
A lot of people like him.
I know you have your right to your opinion, but I disagree with that.
What's your opinion about the Broncos?
Broncos, I think the Broncos. It's going to catch up to them. I think last year they got really lucky because they snuck up on people with Tebow and all this stuff. I don't really trust Peyton Manning's neck. I don't think Peyton Manning's this. He's 36 years old. I don't think he's the same quarterback as he was 2-3 years ago. And I think this year that going into games, teams playing the Broncos are going to expect them to be good, and they're going to play a lot harder. They didn't expect them to be good last year. The Jets lost to the Broncos last year because the Jets thought, hey, this is a freebie. We can totally win this, and they didn't.
Well, people also didn't. Also, the thing about last year is they had a quarterback in Tebow who occasionally, once every 10 passes, completed a deep throw.
Yeah, no, I understand.
He managed to, and one of those 10 passes was in the playoffs.
Yeah,
in overtime.
That was a fluke. That was a fluke play.
But now they have a quarterback where you have to respect the deep pass at all times. So that means their running games are going to get better by having the running game will be better with somebody like Peyton Manning than it would be than with Tim D, regardless of how many passes Peyton Manning plays.
If you play season over-unders and you look at Denver, they're perfect under because all the people in the world are going to say, oh, they got Peyton now. They did well last year. They won a playoff game. Let's go in there. The line moves up. More people expect them to win more and more games. And I think they're just going to be a 500 team. I think they're going to be an 8-8 team. That might be good enough to win that division. I mean, you got the Raiders with the wild card, so that wouldn't be good enough. But I don't see San Diego doing anything, and I really have no hopes for Kansas City. Kansas City is a team that just doesn't have an identity right now.
I think they're going through a weird process. I think that the problem with Kansas City is that I think they all stay healthy. Matt Castle, Dwayne Bowe.
Matt Castle can't win he can't win you a playoff game. He can't bring you to a championship game.
He can't
win a Super Bowl.
You know what's funny is that the 3 USC quarterbacks, you have to say he's the best right now. You think who would you rather have? Carson Palmer, Matt Leinart, or
I don't want Matt Leinart because he's nobody. He does nothing. Carson Palmer, I think he's past his prime.
Or would you want Matt Castle?
I would want Matt. Out of those 3, I'd want Matt Castle.
It is funny. You know who Matt Castle backed up?
All those 2 guys.
Yeah. So I think it's interesting. I think that he's
what
always
Sanchez?
played.
Would you rather Mac and both USC quarterbacks?
I'd probably have. I think that Castle has more of a head for it.
Yeah.
And I think that 18.
15. PSA.
We have to do a PSA at some point, but okay. So we'll wrap up the AFC, go to a PSA, and then we'll come back to the NFC.
Yeah.
And then I'll show you the rest of my picks.
All right. So stay tuned for Joe's picks.
Hi, Grandma.
Hi, Grandma. Happy Halloween.
From Wallingford and WPAA.
Yes, we are. Happy Halloween!
I was working
Yay!
in the lab
We did
late one
it!
night.
We killed
My
the turkey!
eyes beheld an eerie
Happy Halloween!
slab began to rise.
Happy Halloween.
To my surprise,
Happy Halloween.
Monster Mash.
Happy Halloween from Baran's Temple Karate.
Happy Halloween! Happy Halloween!
Trick or treat! I'm the Easter Bunny!
Happy Halloween!
They did the
Happy
monster
Easter!
It caught on in a flash.
Happy Halloween!
They did the
Happy
monster
Halloween!
These were
Happy Halloween!
party had just begun.
Happy MMA, this is bone soup for you. Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween! Everybody! Happy Halloween! I got the pumpkin!
Bangers were about to arrive.
Happy Halloween from the staff and board members of WPAA.
Play the monster mash.
And Freeman Penny. Come on down and visit us anytime. We're here for you. Hi, Andy. I'm on TV just for you.
Me too.
And we're back. Tom Brady, Super Bowl 36 MVP.
Long time ago now, Joe. Long time ago now.
Anyway. How young he is. He's younger than us in that picture.
Yeah.
Man. His life could have been that, but
I know.
So, okay, so we broke down our AFC. Okay, let's pull up the NFC.
NFC picks.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Oh!
AFC.
No, AFC. I don't like the Raiders or the Broncos. Just letting you know.
Who would be your second wildcard team?
I have no idea. Probably Pittsburgh. I really like Pittsburgh this year. I don't see why there's Pittsburgh hate on your end. I don't see that.
I think they're not really that good last year. They're going to be worse this year.
They're going to be better this year. All right, Joe. So you got the Giants in the East, Packers in the North. That's everyone's picking the Packers, right? Yep. Okay. South Saints. Now, why do you think the Saints are going to survive all these?
I think they're going to be hungry.
Okay.
I think they're going to be angry.
I agree with that.
I think they really only lost their head coach, which is a big deal, but they still have the other coaches in place.
Yep.
You know, if you're a good head coach, you have good coordinators.
Yep.
You know, ask
great quarterback.
Great quarterback. Ask Bill Belichick how tough it's been since he lost Romeo and Troy Weiss. It's tough without those guys. The West, you have the 49ers. I like the 49ers.
I think the 49ers, again, another easy team to take the under on because I think last year was a little bit of a fluke. They're going to have a tougher schedule this year. A lot more pressure is going to be on them.
Well,
I think it's a really easy under pick. I really do.
I like the Seahawks, though, that Division 2. I have them as a second wild card team. I think Pete Carroll knows how to make winners if people want to buy into him, believe in him.
But I think the NFL and college is just so different. I don't know. I like Pete Carroll as a college coach. I'm not so in on him with the Seahawks.
I was a Patriots fan. I can see how he underachieves, but I think
he had a good team when he went with the Patriots, and he did underachieve, and he
got fired and had to do a press conference from his car. But like he's standing outside his car door.
He's a weird guy. I mean, there's a lot of people who say he's zen. He's kind of like the Phil Jackson of college football.
But I think that might work in Seattle. I think the fans are going to love him. I think
the fans already love him, and the owner loves him. And I mean, it's a good matchup between him and an NFL team. I just don't see them. I don't know. I just don't see him.
And it's funny with Pete Carroll when they asked Bob Kraft, "Do you regret hiring Pete Carroll? You had an opportunity to hire Bill Belichick, who's a coordinator for Parcello type. You could say, hey, stay here, and we'll have a good job for you."
I understand.
And he said, "You know what? I don't think Bill was ready." And I said, that's a fair point. Maybe Bill wasn't ready. Maybe he still needed a couple years.
I don't know. You got the Bucks as a wild card.
I like the Bucks.
You think the Bucks are going to be better than the Panthers?
I don't know if the Panthers are there yet.
You really? They have a better quarterback than the Bucks. They have a better head coach than the Bucks. I'm not a big Schiano fan. So where does that come from? And they're going to play. The Panthers and the Bucks are going to play. So what's?
I think the Bucks were better than the Panthers last year.
That's questionable.
I think they're more of a complete team. I think the Panthers are. Granted, I think they added some. I think they added Asante Samuel. I think they added Asante Samuel. But I think the Bucks were just more complete team. I think they had more pieces there. I think they're ready to take the next step. I think the Panthers are propelled. I mean, it could work. He's a great athlete, best football player on the field a lot of times. They're really propelled by their quarterback. And I mean, with him, he can do a lot more than a standard, just like pocket quarterback, because he can run and stand in the pocket, which you really don't see that too often. But I think that it's a team that is Cam Newton right now. I think that they need a couple more pieces. They need, they have. I like their tight end. I like. I forgot their tight end's
You
name.
like the other players, but you think the Bucks are more of a complete team compared to the Panthers?
At this point.
Okay.
I mean, Cam Newton.
This is the Bucks' year because they have a wide open year. Because you're right, like the Saints might be weaker, or they might be hungrier. I think they're going to be hungrier. I think you take the over on the Saints. And the Panthers are, they're around the same thing. And Falcons, there's some people talking about the Falcons, but I don't really like them. I think that the ship has kind of sailed on them too.
Yeah, you know what?
They need to reload.
I think they could do all right. I think they might have a chance to get in that second wild card, but I just think the Bucks have a great opportunity this year.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it's an open window. It's like a free pass for them.
But I think they're super competitive NFC this year. I think that I think the Packers are probably the best team. They're the best team last year. The best team the year before. I
agree with that.
I think that even the best team could fall down sometimes.
Of course.
And, we all saw the 2007, 2008 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think in the NFC it's the Packers, and I think one step below them it's like a Giants, 49ers, and then you got to put the Cowboys in it for now.
Yeah.
Eagles.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good teams and probably more good teams in the NFC than in the AFC.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think there's more great teams. I mean, there's probably I think between the Ravens and the Patriots are probably better or as good as any team in the NFC.
I don't know. I don't know. I think the Packers are the best team in football right now. I think. I mean, I hate saying that as a Giants fan, but I really believe that. I think the Packers are the best team in football right now.
Football.
All right. So who do you got winning the Super Bowl?
Let's go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
AFC Championship. I got my Pats.
I like the Texans pick.
Texans.
I like that.
I think that they're going to be 1-2 in the conference this year.
Okay.
I think that they both have the divisions to do that compared to the other teams.
Yep.
I think that
the Texans. You got to love the Texans this year. You have to love the Texans this year.
And I think that a team like the Ravens or the Bengals are going to beat up on each other, so they're going to be a couple games behind.
Yep.
So there's going to be a lot of. There's probably going to be a team that's not good in the playoffs in the West. So I mean, I think that those are the two best teams. I think they're going to have clear shots to each other in the AFC Championship. I think that the Pats, based on their division, they can easily go 4-2, possibly even 6-0 in the division this year. I think that they have a nice clear shot to the number 1 seed. I think the Texans have a nice clear shot to the 2 seed. I think they meet up in Foxborough in January.
And the Pats, I think the Pats win that game based on experience.
Yes, I think
they've been pretty easy for
them.
them.
I think that you're going to see something that you haven't seen yet in Tom Brady. He lost 2 Super Bowls. He needs to get there. He needs to win that 4th.
Joe, is he motivated? Because I think there's been a lack of motivation the last few years for him.
Well, I think we watched a great Super Bowl in 2007, 2008. I think last year we saw 2 teams very beat up. Probably not the best teams in their conference make the Super Bowl.
No, I think the Patriots were the best team, but I think that their conference was so weak that they kind of just got in there and they assured it.
And also, Scott Pollard did have an alpha. Scott Pollard, more than any other person in the NFL, has affected the Patriots.
Yeah.
He took out Tom Brady one year. He took out Wes Welker the other year. He took out Gronkowski last year.
Yeah.
I mean,
and Packers and 49ers, Joe? I don't think the 49ers make it to the conference game, but you like them.
I like the 49ers. I really like the 49ers. You just can't pick against the Packers.
Alex Smith is your quarterback.
I know they have a bad quarterback,
but they have a bad. They don't have a good. It's not like they have an okay quarterback, but they have a bad quarterback.
But he survived this long. I'm surprised he's still in the league. He's still making things happen.
I'm surprised he's the number 1 pick. I'm surprised that he's alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they have great defense. They have a good head coach.
Yeah.
They have a great tight end. Possibly the second.
One of the best tight ends.
He's no Gronkowski, but he's pretty good.
But he's a different player than Gronkowski.
Yeah,
I love
he's
that.
more like Hernandez.
Yeah, he's more like a Hernandez then. He's more of a wide receiver / tight end than a pure tight end.
Yes, and he can get down the field, and I think some of his immaturity is kind of ground away as he's gotten older.
I think it's good. Packers and Patriots in the Super Bowl. We all know who you have winning.
Well, actually, if we go to the next slide, here's a surprise.
No!
I think the 49ers.
Oh, Joe, no.
I really like the 49ers. I like the defense.
I just don't see it. I don't see it.
I think the Packers could make it. I think the Packers are probably the best team. I just like the 49ers defense. I like the players. I like their offense. Without their quarterback, they still have a great receiver in Crabtree. They have a great tight end. Yep. They have a great running back. They just have great things that are around their quarterback to make their quarterback better.
As a Patriots fan, you better hope the 49ers make it to the Super Bowl as opposed to the Packers, because you have a real opportunity. I mean, you will easily beat the 49ers. The Packers, maybe not so much, but...
So let's go to my champion.
Yeah, I don't know who your champion is. Go ahead, Joe.
Patriots.
Oh, wow, what a surprise.
Well, they had the most wins in the NFL last year.
Okay.
They improved some key flaws in their team.
Okay.
Their defense looks a million years better than it did last year. I think
Let's hope. I mean, we don't really know that yet.
But they made some great picks in Chandler and Dante Hightower.
Yep.
I think that those 2 picks alone, I mean, that pass rush and that strength they're going to have at linebacker that they just didn't have last year. I think it's going to be huge. I think it's going to be important. They're going to get Razai Dowling another year, a great pick, a tall DB who can keep pace with those tall, fast wide receivers. He's going to help the Patriots keep the deep threat down. You're going to have McCourty, who has kind of had an up and down season. I think he's going to be healthier. I think once his health comes back, he'll be a better player. I mean, he's a Pro Bowler his rookie year. He had 9 interceptions his first year. He got kind of unlucky with some interceptions being. He had like 2 interceptions that he had that there were flags away from the ball that called it back last year.
Okay.
So I mean, he got a little unlucky. Maybe he got a little lucky his first year, but I think you're going to see more growth in him. So I think that you're going to see the DBs be better. And I think that the better pass rush, the better middle that they're going to have, they're going to play a lot of 4-3 this year. A lot of 4-3. I think you're going to see some steady improvement in those guys that they had last year, the younger guys that they left out there, that they're just getting killed because they're just young. They just haven't played at that level.
Well, another year, another steal in the draft by Belichick getting Hightower.
I think it's great.
Great pick. I mean, you're getting from a good program and getting a good player, and it just blows my mind how he somehow is able to steal these guys.
He does every year. You have a draft pick. You may have some bad draft picks up front, but you just won in that draft.
He always finds something that everyone's like, why didn't the 20 teams before him pick that?
Like, even look at the Steelers, who drafted an offensive lineman who blew out his knee in like the first preseason. I know the Steelers need help in their offensive line, but that guy is a perfect Steeler. Hightower fit the fit LeBeau's defense so well, and they didn't take him for some reason.
I don't know what it is. Belichick has this voodoo that he does that can.
Guys fall to him.
It is amazing.
Gerard Mayo fell to him. Sebastian Vollmer fell to him.
Gronkowski, Hernandez
in the 5th round.
That was so easy. I mean, there's so many that. All right, so you like the Patriots, Joe?
Yes.
All right.
I just think that if you just look at it, and I think the key here is they need their tight ends to be healthy. They need
defense to step it up from last year.
Yes, and they have a deep threat. Which, if they had a deep threat in the Super Bowl, and not relied on Gronkowski to go deep the whole time, it could have been a much different game.
I mean, you got to play with the team you have.
But the thing is, now they don't have to worry about that this year.
Well, hopefully. Well, the time they get the Super Bowl, you got to help.
Yeah, but they have Brandon Lloyd, who's a great deep threat, can make those great catches.
Yep.
And they brought back McDaniels. Maybe he has a year. Maybe the offense becomes a little more interesting. Goes back to like the great offense that the Patriots are known for. You know, their offense kind of came blah the past couple of years. It's just been past the Welker, short pass, deep throws to Gronkowski. Maybe that's gone this year. Maybe they have more wide array of.
Cool. Just before we go, want Joe's Facts on Twitter. Really good. You guys should follow that.
At Joe's Facts.
At Joe's Facts. And Joe, it's a great show. Great football show.
Yeah.
We have a good football season, and we come in mid-season. After 8 games, we come back and we kind of look where it has been and where we're going.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, thanks, Joe, for having me.
Yes. Well, thanks for coming in.
All right.
You're welcome any week. You can always come down here.
Open invitation.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. There's a little drastic change in the way the show was from last
Yeah, it's a little different. A lot less furry talk. A lot less furry talk, Judge.
You were on that furry talk.
I know I was. I was an instigator. I know. You gotta be rough.
Occasionally.
All right. Well, Joe, thank you again.
Free Amanda Bynes!
She got arrested for a hit and run.
She just loves getting arrested, Joe. Loves drinking, loves driving, loves getting arrested.
Who doesn't?
Allegedly, I guess we should say.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
All right, so we have like 2 minutes.
We have 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were wrapping it up.
I guess we were wrapping it up, but we didn't wrap it up while.
Joe, do you like ESPN 3D?
Oh, we got a call.
Oh,
Hello? Hello?
No.
Hello? All right, whoever called, you have 30 seconds to call back.
Joe, you like ESPN 3D?
I like it. I think it's a little unnecessary. You have 3D television. You don't have Uverse dropped ESPN 3D. But it's nice, watch a Sunday night game in 3D.
You like NFL Red Zone?
NFL Red Zone's okay. It's just a bunch of games.
No. You like the fact that they're putting Sunday Ticket for free on DirecTV?
I love that. That is great. If you don't have the cable package, get DirecTV right now. Hello?
No.
All right, so you have literally
5 seconds.
1 minute before we go off the air.
What else, Joe? What else about football and technology?
I don't know. The placement ref's still there.
Oh, it's awful.
Okay.
It's awful.
Hello?
Hey, how's it doing there?
Hey, how we doing? The Roos. You got 1 minute.
The problem with the analysis is there's a little too much Patriots going on, not enough of the G-Men.
We had somebody calling for 10 minutes about the G-Men.
Yeah, I was listening to a little bit of it. I watched about 3/4 of it. And, you got that Brandon Ross from
Yeah?
You got Andrew Schmidt.
Yeah, I'm here.
And you're looking nice today in that fleece, boy.
I love it. I gotta stay warm. I'm cold today for some reason. I don't know why.
You both are doing a little something extra. And I have to say, I'd like to hear more before we talk, if that's possible.
All right, well,
we gotta go.
We gotta go, but thanks for calling.
All right.
See you next week.
See ya. All right,
guys.
there was the Roos.
That's cool.